Welcome to the No Shame Podcast. I'm John Groders. Once a year, filmmakers and producers, actors and directors from all over the world gather to be encouraged in the Lord and in their craft at the International Christian Visual Media Conference, or ICVM. We spent the week interviewing many of those who attended for our podcast.
Have no shame, no, we are not afraid, no shame of the gospel of his name. It's the power of God by which we all are saved. We need not be afraid, no shame.
Welcome to the No Shame Podcast. I'm John Groders. I'm kind of thrilled that here at the ICVM convention, day 2, I just came out of the luncheon, and Clara Abercrombie was our keynote speaker. Lunch was delicious. I'm glad they cooked for us. But then you came on the stage and you just shared powerfully about what it means to be called and equipped by God and how to stay in our lane. And it just seemed like you had something to say today. Is that how you felt too?
I did. I prayed and opened myself up. Of course, I had something planned, and then I went off script, because I'm always open to whatever the Lord has to say, whatever move, So I trust Him to give me what He wants me to say.
In the moment, Moses had that same issue, didn't he? And he said, I'm not going to be this guy. I'll give you what to say when the time comes.
Yes.
If you don't know the name Clara Abercrombie, you might know Miss Clara from the movie War Room, the Kendrick brothers film. And that was just such a iconic role and such a powerful role, modeling the power of prayer. Can you tell us just a little bit about what it was like to play that role and why you did it?
It was amazing. When the script came to me, I read it and was immediately moved. I know the power of prayer the best that I, can, or that I did anyway. But I know that prayer moves mountain. It raises the dead. And my experience working on War Room, even before that, I thought that I was quite the prayer warrior.
Right.
Oh, I really did. But just preparing and opening myself up for God to just move me, because I just stripped myself away, I realized that all the time I had been praying, thinking I was really getting down, going deep, I was only scratching the surface. Yeah.
Why does God have prayer part? Why He sees everything. He knows everything. Why is prayer even a thing, you think?
It brings us into that intimate place, an intimate relationship with our Father and Son, Father and daughter. And there we go get that love that no one on this planet can give us, that deep, deep, high, wide love.
I'm a father. You mentioned from the stage you're a mother.
Yes.
Don't we want to have relationship with our children? I mean, isn't that just part of it?
Oh, absolutely.
We don't want to just provide for them.
Absolutely.
We don't want to have kids that just believe we exist. We don't even want to just have kids that obey what we say.
Right.
What do we want in a wonderful relationship with our own offspring?
Absolutely. We want all that and more. But see, what is so awesome about God is because He can see into the future. He chose at one point in time to create us, knowing well ahead of time what our shortcomings would be, what would get us hung up, what our issues would be. He knew that we would be born with flaws, but He chose to love us into existence, and then He made a foolproof way for us to spend eternity with Him. He gave His one and only child so that He could spend an eternity with Him. That blows my mind away. I look back, I'm not trapped in my past, but I think about some of the things I did that He brought me through, and I'm like, oh my God, and you knew I did that, and you still chose to love me into existence. You knew what I would do, and you gave your perfect Son, your holy Son, your only Son, so that I could spend an eternity with you. Wow.
I'm just sort of thrilled, Karen, because when we see a movie, and a lot of people have seen War Room. How many people have seen War Room? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Oh, I have no idea.
Millions.
But I yes, and I get people sending me emails from all over the world, Africa, Asia. As a matter of fact, Alex Kendrick sent me an email that he had gotten from a Muslim father. and just wanted to know how he could teach his son how to pray. You know,
When we who are trying to make movies that reveal the beauty of Christ to the world,
Yes.
we are using cameras and microphones and editing techniques and sets, and we're using all these things, but the actors on the screen are playing roles often written for them by other people, but it makes me so excited when I meet the people who played the role and they are authentically bringing that same spirit. So Clara is a prayer monster, you know, but she could have been played by a woman who was just acting. I mean, she could have been played by a woman who was just acting, but she was played by you. God prepared and prepared you for that role. And I just heard you share your heart with us, and now I understand why God prepared you to play that role in that movie, because you weren't only acting.
No, I adore, I love, I'm constantly seeking after, running, chasing him. I'm a God chaser. And I'm desperate for the deepest possible relationship that I could ever have with the being, the Father that chose to love me,
Right.
flesh me, fallible me into existence. Wow.
How he works is beautiful. You just mentioned Gary Wheeler is part of your church, and
Yes.
he kind of said, "I think I know the Kendricks, and I think I know who they're looking for." And I
Yes.
think it's you. Kind of got match made,
Yeah.
and you didn't even know that. You weren't seeking out that part.
No.
Somebody else. Or it was an arranged marriage in a way.
Yes, a divine appointment.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy, amazing?
It's God, and we are so dependent. I mean, we're a remnant.
Yes.
And we've got to be connected with each other. If you're listening to this podcast, if you're whatever, podcasts are weird. Who knows where they get picked up?
Right.
And maybe someone's listening to this podcast, and I'm just thinking right now that you might know somebody that you need to connect with somebody else, because Gary Wheeler connected Karen with the Kendricks, and then they cast her to play this role in War Room, and then 200 people just got to hear a powerful outpouring of the Holy Spirit from Karen today, and I'm just grateful for that match that got made.
Oh.
And that's a step we can do in obedience. You know, I think, this guy Keith needs to meet this guy Jeremy.
Yes,
And
yes.
sometimes I don't respond to that nudge.
Yes.
But isn't that a part of how the kingdom needs to integrate?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. And so many times he uses us and we don't even know the value of that split second hi, meet so and so and so and so. But for the glory of the kingdom, to the glory of God, everything, that every stepping stone, every breadcrumb has great value, each and every one.
Yeah. Wow. It's so wonderful. I appreciate the work you do. I don't even know the breadth of it. Is there a project on the horizon that you feel like mentioning right now? I'm
Oh my
looking
goodness.
backwards.
Well, I'm producing my first film.
All right.
It's called Just Grace. It's a powerful story about forgiveness, healing, and grace, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm going to be co-directing, and the young lady that's going to be co-directing with me is a beast. She's amazing, but I have to do co-directing because I'm also going to be starring in the film, and so I'm just really excited about stepping out into this part of myself.
How do we find it? How do we follow you?
You can go to my Facebook page. It's Just Grace Movie, and you can follow us all the way up until till we wrap that baby and finish it off. Yes.
Well, God bless you. You know,
Thank you.
The talent God has given you, the willingness that you have to shine Him as a writer, as a songwriter, as a singer, as a producer. Today, thank you for sharing your heart with us at the
I
stage.
am so grateful for the opportunity.
You're the real deal.
I'm just grateful. I'm grateful.
For what it's worth, these things don't happen by accident. Somebody's listening to this podcast today. I believe they needed to hear your voice. If that's you and you know it's you, we just thank God for that. Somebody's listened to Karen Abercrombie today, and God's calling you to prayer. God's calling you to remember that you're His beloved son or daughter, and that He wants a relationship with you, not just a check mark in a box somewhere. And that's why He set it up for us to activate His work in prayer. He set it up that way. He limited Himself to say, I will act when my children ask me to. That's our part in the game.
That's powerful, and it's true.
So let's just not take it lightly. You're not praying to the ceiling. It's not just the thoughts in your head. You're communicating with the living God, because that's how it was set up.
Yes.
War Room was all about that, and pray today. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Karen Abercrombie, thank you for joining us to the No Shame podcast. We're ICVM. She was magnificent today. I wish I could show you the film. It was like my partner Keith said, that's like a TED Talk that everyone should see, what we saw today. You just brought the house down. God bless you.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
Have no shame.